Okay, next thing up is item number 4, ordinances, and this is the second reading for adopt an ordinance prohibiting aggressive and unsafe panhandling within the corporate city limits of Yuba City. Chief Rob Landon.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members. Today it is the second reading of this. I'm going to go into a little bit of it just because all the students are here today and they may not be aware of it. So just to touch on it briefly, I apologize for those that have listened to it a couple times already. We've had a number of complaints from the citizens and businesses of unsafe and aggressive panhandling. They're creating public safety hazards at intersections near businesses, medians, locations with automated teller machines. So the staff got together with the city attorneys and we looked at a bunch of different alternatives, what other cities are doing throughout California, United States, to see what we could come up with that balances people's right to the First Amendment while taking care of the problem we're having with unsafe panhandling situations and aggressive panhandlers, which both detract from the city and what we're trying to put out there for everybody. So we came up with various different ordinances, and what we went with is one kind of a hybrid form of Sacramento counties, some of Santa Cruz, some of the different areas around Sacramento that have all done the same type of ordinances. We wanted to address two specific things. Number one, unsafe panhandling, and number two, aggressive panhandling. And again, we are trying to bear in mind that everybody does have a First Amendment right. So with that in mind, we came up with the following items that are going to be covered under this ordinance. Number one, no person shall panhandle in an aggressive and intrusive manner in any public place. So that touches on the aggressive panhandling. We have a bunch of different definitions that handle that under this ordinance. And all panhandling is prohibited at the following specified locations: financial institutions and automated teller machines. Motor vehicles, no person shall panhandle from an operator or occupant traveling in a motor vehicle while such vehicle is located within 100 feet of any intersection in which at least one corner is controlled by an official traffic signal, which basically is a stoplight. Number two is median strips. No person shall panhandle on a median strip or in any manner or location that is inconsistent with the provisions of this California Vehicle Code. No person shall panhandle in driveways accessing shopping centers, retail and business establishments. So no person shall panhandle from an operator, or no person shall panhandle from an operator or occupant traveling in a motor vehicle while such vehicle is located within 35 feet of a driveway providing vehicular access to a shopping center, retail, or business establishment. That covers the areas like the Walmarts when people are trying to come and go and their vision is obstructed. Their number one primary job when you're driving a vehicle, very important for students when you're young and also for people throughout their life, is to make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing. Texting detracts from that, but so does this when people are waving signs in front of you coming in and out of traffic. So we want to address that and make sure nobody is doing that. Public transportation vehicle and stops. Again, a person that's coming on a public transportation in a bus or at a stop is there for one reason. They're trying to get to their next destination. It's not like they can walk away from somebody else. They'll miss the bus. It's kind of like you're a captured audience, and they shouldn't have to be imposed on by aggressive or imposing panhandlers. Gasoline stations and fuel pumps, the same type of thing. You're there for a specific reason. You're bringing your money out. You have cash in your hand. You're there to specifically do an item, and it's not like you can drive away. You may be out of gas. You have to be there for a specific reason. The last thing that we're touching on is no person shall panhandle in any place after dark. So with those as the restrictions, the penalties for that is the infraction, or any person who violates this section shall be guilty of an infraction the first time, which basically means they'll get a citation, possible fine. Second time, if any person who violates the same section of this chapter more than 2 times within a 6-month period is liable for a misdemeanor. So that could be jail time or that could be a fine, combination of the both, or community service. And then one thing I did want to really touch upon is the difference between homeless and vagrants, because homeless are people that are out there as a result of the economic impact or something happened to them, and they want to take advantage to all the programs that are available. So we want to make sure that we are not, this is more addressed to vagrants. Vagrants are out there that are always trying to take advantage of the system in the sense that they have the same opportunities. They have the opportunities to get home. They have the opportunities to get something to eat. Those things are provided to them, but they want to use it for other opportunities. So although this doesn't specifically say charities or anything else like that, it doesn't break them apart. This is whether you're doing a car wash or whether you're panhandling, it's still unsafe to be out there in those specific areas. So it does address it in that manner. With that, I'll bring it back to the council.
Questions for Chief?
Chief, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
On the enforcement side of this, if someone is a vagrant or homeless and they don't have any place that they call home, other than perhaps the river bottoms or somewhere like that, how are we going to really be able to enforce this? I mean, it's not like you can send a notice to their home and that they have to appear or whatever. Does it just create a warrant for their arrest in the future, or what does that do?
That's possible. It could create a warrant. Depends on the situation. We'll hand them the ticket right there when we write the ticket, so it comes to them. If they don't take care of the ticket, yes, it does turn into a warrant.
All right, thank you.
Chief, have you gone out and done any outreach at this present time prior to the ordinance coming in? And if so, what kind of results have you found?
The results are hard to measure, but yes, we have been going out. We've had all the officers. We have a pamphlet that basically says all the different available options from the community. They're provided by the Homeless Consortium, so we've been working with them. And they basically say, here's a place to get food, here's places to get shelter, here's opportunities to get different jobs, clothing, and the different items that are provided by the churches and the different consortium groups. So we hand those out, and we've been handing those out prior to the ordinance. So we're trying to touch on everybody, not giving them citations right now, because obviously our intent is not to create more problems, but to fix the problem that we have right now, and that's currently to get them off this unsafe areas and to get rid of the aggressive panhandling. So we're giving them all the different opportunities. I don't know how to measure that right now. That's more something that'll have to happen later on as we see the decrease in volume of people violating those rules. So maybe a count on the ordinance or the citations and stuff.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for the chief?
Chief, is there going to be some educational opportunity through like the church? A lot of these community organizations, they try to do good things and hence create a problem because they invite the homeless to that neighborhood, like the one on Plymouth Street. Are you planning to go out at the feeding times and educate the people there?
I think that's more of a citywide problem than a police department problem. That's everybody getting together, and we're kind of working on a safe and clean project right now throughout the different city staff. So it's something that we're addressing. I don't think it's the police department can specifically handle that or do that. We're not kind of cut out for that. We don't have the personnel to do that, but obviously that does create issues. And I think we saw that last council meeting when we had specific business owners talking about the problems that are presented as a result of feeding in a retail area where everybody's congregating hours before and hours afterwards with no place to go.
Thanks.
I believe
Mayor.
everyone, yes, go ahead.
Chief, and this kind of pertains to getting the word out. Is there going to be an effort maybe to work through the homeless consortium and the churches that provide resources? There's 18 different churches that provide resources currently to homeless to be able to provide information on panhandling, like the pamphlets that you currently have, getting those into the hands of those different groups so they can hand those out also. Those are not typically the problem locations, but there is an association with that also.
Absolutely, Councilman Buckland. That is one of the big issues that you presented, but is getting the word out. But also, on the other hand, those were provided to us by those different groups in the consortium. So we're working in partnership with them. We realize it's a community problem, not a police problem, not a individual business problem. It's everybody's issue, and we're all trying to get together and work through this as a staff and through the consortium in partnership.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other questions? You have to go up to the podium, state your name for the record so that we get you on.
This way you'll be on TV.
Panhandling is kind of an old
Can you
school
please state your
term.
name for the record?
Oh, I'm
and-
sorry, Allison Robinson. Panhandling is kind of an old school term. I think probably the majority of people know what that means, but we have a very young audience here tonight. And so just for proprietary reasons, could we possibly have a definition of what panhandling is?
Sure, Chief.
Thank you.
So the definition in the ordinance is defined: panhandling shall mean to ask, beg, request, using the spoken, written, or printed word or bodily gesture, signs, or other means with the purpose of obtaining an immediate donation of money or other thing of value, or panhandling the direct and immediate sale of goods or services. Thank you, Allison, for asking that.
Thank you. Okay.
No further comment. I'll move to approve.
Okay, I've got a motion by Councilmember Mon. No, it's not.
I'll second.
Got a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.